Guys, it's Matt here from Tradie Web Guys. I'm just coming at you today with a bit of insight for some keyword strategy and some keyword research when it comes to organic keyword selection for like an SEO campaign. I just had a phone conversation with a client of ours in Perth in Western Australia, and they are a security camera company. They work with CCTV, access control, monitoring, that kind of thing. The reason that we like to involve our clients so much in the keyword process is because there's a lot of input that comes from our customers, which the search engine is not going to know. And I'll show you some examples shortly. But it's a really important step for us because we know that there is very often your customers or your potential customers are coming to you guys asking for specific keywords or specific phrases or specific items or what services or whatever products that Google is typically not going to spit out in the keyword analysis report. It's really important for us to understand primarily what is it that your customers are coming to you for. So then when we can sort of blend it all together in the report that Google spits out, we can come to like a happy medium. So I'll show you exactly what we're talking about, and we'll jump into down the bottom here an example of some of the keywords which Google hasn't spat out, which the client has said, these are important for me. I want to rank for these kind of things. Of course, we don't know at this stage what the competition's like or the average search volume is like for these keywords. But I mean, these are keywords and key terms that their clients are asking, that their clients and potential clients do ask them for. And so it is relevant. And so it doesn't necessarily show up in the Google in the report that we've run, but it's still important. So you can't neglect it. And especially for a lot of these terms, when you look at some of these things, right? So let's say Bosch alarm systems installations or Bosch alarm installations, for example. So that might be an extremely low search. In fact, it may not even return data because it's so low volume. However, what you need to appreciate is that for companies that target that commercial space, they don't need a lot. They don't need a huge amount of search volume. If they show up for one search there and that person is a property manager or a developer and they bring them on to install, 40, 50, 60 Bosch home installation units in an apartment block they're building, then that's a big win, And this can also tie in well to, to a Google Ads campaign as well. You may not get a huge amount of people searching for it. And if you were just searching for that one keyword, if you were just competing for that one keyword alone in your Google Ads campaign, there's a good chance you'll never ever hit budget. But on the one chance that you might get the odd click here or there, you could probably guarantee it's going to be quite a highly qualified lead, and it could potentially end up in a pretty high value project. So these are all things that you should be considering. But what I wanted to talk to you as well about is some of the things that are less obvious. So if we jump to this one, for example, expert security services. Now, at a glance, that sounds like a good keyword, but in hindsight, it's probably not that great a keyword to compete for because expert security services could mean a number of things. It could mean security guards. It could mean guns. It could mean a number of different things, right? So I suppose with the advantage of SEO is that you're not going to get charged when somebody clicks on this, and you can also tie other keywords that associate with that to make it more relevant. But at a glance, it might look like a great idea, but then in hindsight, it may not be so good. So these are things that you need to take into consideration. Same here with like home security companies. Sure, we do home security system installation, but we're not a home security company in the sense that we patrol your neighborhood and we patrol, your location and that kind of thing. Again, with SEO, you're not going to get charged for it when people click on it. And with Google Ads, you can actually select these things as what they call a negative keyword, which means if that does get entered into the search engine, if you have it set up as a negative keyword, you won't by default show up for that search term because it's not relevant. Another example is, so a number of years ago when we were working with a pipe relining company on their Google Ads, and they do pipe patching and patch repair. right, which is basically installing a small bit of liner into a pipe that can repair things like a broken collar or something like that. Now, patch repair is common language for them. They use it day in, day out. But of course, if you were to compete on patch repair for Google Ads, you're going to come up with people that are looking for patch repair for clothing and things like that. So we actually had to apply that as a negative keyword because we didn't want to show up in those searches, and we didn't want to be paying for these unqualified leads that are coming through, even though that is a term that was commonly used for that company, if that makes sense. So these are all considerations you need to that are not obvious, So, and it led us down another conversation on a slight tangent, but still relevant. So, although we may not want to incorporate some keywords as part of the SEO strategy, that doesn't necessarily mean that those keywords are irrelevant for content. And this is a great example. So, alarm systems perf could mean a number of things. It could mean people that are shopping around for different alarm systems located in the Perth region. Different types of technologies. It could be different providers or different wholesalers or retailers, which isn't necessarily the right customer for this specific client. However, it does mean that it could provide. You can see here that there's not a huge amount of searches, but there's quite a few, and it's of medium competition. If somebody, say a homeowner or a property developer or whatever, was looking around for like different alarm systems, if they stumbled across a piece of content that came from a trusted, recommended, licensed, authorized, respected electrician talking about different alarm systems that they work with, pros and cons of, different features and benefits that they might have, then that's a huge piece of valuable content that would add a lot of value to that person. Now, does that necessarily mean that it's going to end up in a sale? Potentially no. However, obviously as an installer, they can, you can make that pretty obvious within that piece of content that if you do need someone to help you choose the right system or install the right system at your location, then, we can fly that flag. So there are also some things there that you can take on board from a content point of view, which, there are people looking for this, sure. What can we put together in this space? Maybe a nice video tutorial where we run through different options, and then we can take that video, we can embed it on a blog page on our website. We can share the blog page out to social media. We can even run ads to it if we wanted to through things like Facebook, YouTube, Google, so on and so forth. So I say to guys all the time, and if if you've got the content, you can use it. If you haven't got the content, you can't use it. And another example of that same sort of scenario would be here, top home security systems. Typically speaking, they may not want to optimize for that with an SEO campaign because it might mean that people are coming to them, looking for a specific product or a different, maybe they're price shopping or whatever it might be. But certainly, that could be some great content because it's coming from, again, a trusted installer, and they're talking about some of the great home security systems they've installed and they recommend as a trusted advisor. So again, the whole premise here, guys, is about building trust and rapport with your potential, clients to try and resonate with them on some level as to offering information content that's relevant to their, what they're needing, and then sure, if they need someone that can help them install it, fantastic, I can help them install it. So anyway, guys, that's enough from me. I just wanted to share a little bit of insight there. This is stuff that these are conversations we regularly have with clients, especially in the onboarding stage with an SEO campaign. And of course, on the content side of things with the clients in our elevation program, this is something that we love to develop as part of a strategy and work towards executing over the months of the campaign. For more information, guys, head across to tradiewebguys.com.au. You can navigate to the SEO pages there. You can navigate to the elevation program there. Find out more about that. It's an absolutely fantastic program, which essentially takes care of all of these marketing things and puts it into a sweet little bundle for you guys. And anyway, that's enough from me. Hope to see you over there. Hope this was useful, and we'll chat to you soon. Bye.